wake up. Club 718, see something, say something. I'm Bob Banner, and I'm back with another video. As always, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You will be the first to get these videos. Today's topic, we're going to talk about presidents. Today is President's Day. Today, I believe, is the 18th of January 2019. And we're going to talk about President's Day, fitting. I would like to know, and please, share your comments. Who is your favorite president? I know people like presidents for different reasons. As far as my political views are concerned, I don't really subscribe to a lot of the politicians that are out here today. Bernie Sanders was my guy. Whatever, he never made the presidency, but I was always rooting for him. Although, I did vote for Hillary, even though that was, to me, it felt like the lesser of the two evils, but not really. I should have gave Trump my vote. You know what I'm saying? Don't hate me. I'm not going to start wearing MAGA hats or nothing like that, but it is what it is. So today we're going to discuss popular presidents or people's favorite president, and we're going to do this in no particular order. So let's start off. I'm going to start off with a fan favorite. A lot of people love this particular president, especially in the urban community. I'm talking about the mighty Bill Clinton, or Bill the Butcher, I like to call him. Bill the Butcher. Shout out to the people who made gangs in New York. Off the top of my head, I don't know who it was. But anyway, Bill the Butcher. A lot of people liked him, especially, like I said, in the urban communities because, his claim to fame, in my opinion, was getting brain in the ovals, in the Oval Office. So a lot of folks kind of related to Bill, you know what I'm saying? Because that's who wouldn't want to be the president and get brain from a random in the Oval Office? It's gangster in itself. That in itself is a movement. So I understand why a lot of urban folks, men mostly, relate to Bill. To me, all politicians are phony, you know what I mean? So they all have their own political agendas. And Bill supposedly is a great humanitarian and does things in the urban community that's supposed to uplift or whatever. I didn't see it. I think every politician is crooked, and they all, like I said, promote their own political agendas. But Bill was pretty popular among the black folks, Spanish folks, and things like that, for his fellatio situation. Also, he was pretty vocal about speaking up for, the Haitian community. Shout out to all the Zoes out there. But again, I didn't see it. I think he was robbing people on the low, but that's just my opinion. He played the saxophone, so that was I would not gonna say that's a big thing, but people gravitated to him because I guess they felt that he was grounded as a human being. But he seemed to be, as I said before, he seemed to be pretty popular with a lot of folks. A lot of people were into Bill. Which leads me, I'm going to jump around back and forth. And since we're on the topic of urbans, there's a thing going around that the first black president was really Lincoln. That's right, Honest Abe, with the 10-gallon hat and all that. They say he was really a black man, and history kind of, well, this is just one opinion that a lot of people share, that Lincoln was a black man. I cannot confirm nor deny it. I don't have all the proof or the evidence. Was he one of my favorites? Nah, not really. Neither was Bill. It is what it is, though. I don't know too much about Abe except for that movie I saw and the story about him chopping down a cherry tree. Was that George Washington or was that Honest Abe? I think it was Honest Abe. Could have been George Washington. Don't quote me. But a lot of people there's a lot of people who support a president because he was black, so I'm just assuming that people will be on the whole Abraham Lincoln wave just because, they thought he was a black man. So, some people support the black man no matter what he's doing, whether he's doing right or wrong, just because he shares the same pigmentation of skin, they're into him. Not my thrill. Also, I'm going to leave out a couple of presidents because I can tell you the truth, I don't know all these cats. So I can't start shooting off and say who's who. But I do know what popular opinion would say who a lot of people gravitate towards. Who brings me into good old Nixon. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a crook. Made that phrase popular. To this day, people still speak about it. He threw up the double peace sign. You know what I'm saying? He was involved with that whole Watergate situation. But Nixon was a pretty popular dude before that hit the fan. And a lot of the older folks, what's the PC term to call them? That demographic, they were really into Nixon at that time. He had the war effort and everything going on, but he had to step down. I'm gonna give him this. That showed to me, okay, yes, he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. So politically, as far as his career is concerned, he didn't have much option but to back out and step down. But to me, that shows a lot of guts as a president. So people, because of popular opinion, you step down and try to do what's right for your country. So shout out to Nixon. Not like he's alive right now to receive said shout out, but I respect that. I respect that step down. To me, that was a big maneuver. I didn't get to see him or really know anything about Nixon because I'm not really in that age range where Nixon was really out there doing his thing. But he was pretty popular as well. So we're going to chase Nixon with another president who, to me, I'm going to have to say, out of all the presidents, he might be my favorite. And it's not only because of the Oliver Stone movie. You see what I'm getting at. I'm going with JFK. Smooth brother. You know what I'm saying? He spoke against tyranny. Tried to do a lot for the black folks, even though, like I said, every person who's ever held office since the beginning of time had their own political agenda. And, you could make that argument that a lot of the moves that he did make was simply because, black people were coming up and he wanted to get them votes. But whatever. I still think that as far as presidents go, he was my favorite. Plus, I'm really deep into that whole conspiracy theory, magic bullet, and all that. And that Oliver Stone movie was a great movie. But that's him out there. He was quite the playboy. He was out there hollering at broads. Married dude. You know what I'm saying? But he was moving and shaking. I think it's documented that he hung out with Sammy and Frank Sinatra and so he was really tied to what was the pulse of the people, I think. You know what I'm saying? And he was something fresh and new at the time that people haven't seen as far as a politician was concerned. You had Ford and these cats. Wasn't Ford didn't he have something to do with the CIA? We're gonna jump into Ford in a minute. Because if it wasn't for JFK and me not supporting JFK, I would have to chase that down with Ford. But only because if what they say is true, that Ford met the aliens and had that secret parlay with the aliens, then I'm into it because that's intense, man. But that only, like I said, that only holds credence if he did really have that secret meeting with the aliens. You know what I'm saying? Hands down. Me being an alien conspiracy theorist. Or what did they say? Ancient aliens? Astronaut theorist? Whatever that guy with the funny hair says. Anyway, If that was real, then I'm all into Ford. Chase that down with, like I said, JFK. Wasn't into Bill too heavy, but that's here nor there. Some people really like Bill. A lot of ladies like Bill as well, because he was that dude. Whatever. I'm gonna go into who else? Reagan. Reagan gets a lot of flack because of his war on drugs, and his wife spearheaded that whole war on drugs movement, locked up a lot of young brothers who are still doing time to this day for what a lot of people would consider petty crime. So Reagan got a lot of hate, but really he was the first superstar president. Because if you do know, Reagan was like an actor before he came up, before his comeuppance. And believe it or not, some time ago I was doing some research on YouTube on popular speeches and impactful speeches. Reagan was a great speaker, B. Forget about what he did or what he didn't do. He's not, in my book as a favorite out there doing his numbers. But he was pretty popular too. You know what I mean? Like I say, he was a prominent actor. I think he was doing westerns. I couldn't tell you what type of movies he was doing at the time, but he had some good speeches. Look up Reagan's speeches, and he was getting it in. Maybe he got corrupted after he got in office, but prior to him getting elected, he was dropping jewels, B. I'm not gonna hold you. I am not a crook. After that, I can't really think of any other presidents who are like popular like that. Although number 45, and I'm not talking about Michael right now. I'm not talking about the Chicago Bulls. What is he, 5-time champ? We're not talking about that number 45. We're talking about, Commander-in-Chief right now. Talk about Donald from straight out of Queens. You know what I mean? Shout out to Queens. Queens get the money. Queens get the money, long time no cash. Trump, I don't know. What I would like to say about Trump though is like, listen, I know the guy is reckless. He talks reckless. If you watch our video about what if Trump was black, maybe if he was black, he wouldn't be getting that much flack. That's my personal opinion. It is what it is. But Trump, he's type of a trendsetter though. Back in the days, a lot of people messed with Trump. A lot of stars, actors, actresses, a lot of musicians messed with Trump because he was that dude. He had the bread, he had the Trump Towers. He was making a lot of noise. A lot of hip hop references and music was, I want to be like Trump. But ever since he got in office, he was going crazy. Just grabbing chicks by the woo-ha. Gotta respect that. He's like, that's what we do. That's what we do. We just grab them. But not to say that I condone that in any way, shape, or form, but it is what it is. Trump is out there doing this thing. He was the first to fully utilize social media platforms, so that's kind of big in itself. Like I said, I didn't vote for him. I voted for Hillary because I thought Trump was all bad. And he's still showing me that he's all bad. I don't think he's really done anything good. I think he's riding the wave of the statistics, which probably would have been where they at right now, regardless of who was in office or who wasn't in office. But, that's here or there. So Trump is really popular. He's losing a lot of traction right now with the government shutdown and all this war business that he's trying to put up. I'd like to put a wall up behind, out of Queens, keep some of these other boroughs out. But that's another story, another blog. Trump is crazy, B. But like all presidents, he has his fan base. He has those people who will carry the torch for him and, support whatever moves he makes and try to rationalize it to the rest of us. But I really would like to know where your stance is at. Who is your favorite president? Oh, we got to get into Barack's. How could I leave out Barack's? Mr. Obama. As I said before, I don't really subscribe to any particular political party. And I remember when Barack first came out, I'm talking like he's an artist, like when he dropped his first single. But when Barack first came out, I don't know, there was something about him that I just couldn't get on board. You know, I'm not going to say he's a shyster or nothing, but I don't trust anybody who talks too slick and too smooth. He's just way too smooth. And usually when somebody's too smooth, something's there. I mean, not to say that he got exposed for anything, and I get how a lot of the people in the minority community would subscribe to him just because, you know, he was quote unquote a minority as well. So I don't really get on board with that. You just can't mess with a dude just because he's black. They could be the most treacherous or whatever. But something was not right with me and him. I didn't feel it. Like, his speeches was way too polished. And I get it. Don't hate me because it's like, oh, because he's well-spoken and this and that. Nah, it's just like, when you grew up like I grew up, trust me, I'm no gangster or no hood cat like that. Although, you know, I was always in the thick of things. But you're able to spot a charlatan, a shyster. Not to say that he is, because I really have no evidence of the fact. Although he did pass a lot of laws, who I think was the alley-oop or the give and go for Trump to do a lot of the things that he's doing. I wish I had, you know, some more homework to give y'all like concrete evidence of what he actually passed. What makes me think this way, but if you do your research, you'll dig it up. Like I said, all politicians are crooked, B. They out here for votes. Just like doctors do not cure disease, they suppress symptoms. That's just the money machine and how it works. But a lot of people love Barack, Michelle. You know, I mess with Michelle. She alright. But if there's any, if we're talking about presidents' wives I want to smash, I don't think Michelle's going to come up. She's not really my cup of tea. But shout out to you, Michelle. You got a big voice in the community. Keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing. But I'd like to hear what you guys think as far as who your favorite president is. Today is President's Day. I don't really need to know your affiliation, Democrat, Republican, but you know, what president you feel played the biggest impact? Who was the CIA president? Was that Ford again? Was he the dude that spearheaded the CIA? Listen, I'm down with anybody who's doing black government. And yeah, we're not talking about the secret presidents, because a lot of people say, especially if you watch that movie Vice, you think that actually Cheney was the president while Bush was asleep at the wheel. The Bushes were pretty popular, you know, Bush Sr. and then George W. You know what I mean? In their circles, you know, they're pretty popular. You know, a lot of people believed in these two cats, and they're not really my favorites. And I don't think there's too many. There's Bush supporters out there, but I don't think he was really a guy. I think he got an office off the strength of his pops. And his pops was like really big. Oh, dudes is wilding on the highway right now. LIE looking reckless. But the Bushes, what can I say? If you look into conspiracy theories and things like that, you know, the Bushes always had their hands messing around with the Saudis, getting that oil money, as they should. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that they shouldn't get your bread, but when it's at the expense of the American people, that's when it causes a problem. Anyway, happy President's Day. I know it's not like Thanksgiving where you probably have a big meal, or you might if you deep rooted into your political affiliation like that. This might be a real holiday for you. But as far as my standings go, I'm going Bush 1. Not Bush. What did I say? JFK, he's gonna be who I go with. I feel like he tried to expose cats, and I think that's one of the reasons why he bit the bullet, because he's trying to bring that truth, that knowledge to the people. You know what I mean? So as always, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let me know who's your favorite president and why in the comments. Happy President's Day. You know what I mean? And remember, see something, say something. I'm Bob Banner, and I'm out, y'all.